but it's cool because I got you a new iPhone. I'd be really mad and I'd probably... Hello everybody, and apologies if I look like a raccoon. I woke up got up like 10 minutes ago. Anyway, so I couldn't fall back asleep because I have a grievance with a particular genre of prank. Like, if you're gonna like sticky note someone's stuff, like, that's not really a big deal. But then there are some pranks that are more destructive in nature. That's very, like, not okay to prank someone with. It's like, unless you're going to do all the cleanup efforts, which I don't think most of these people are, it's kind of, like, not cool. So I generally kind of have grievances with pranks. Like, the kind of pranks I really like, it was called Improv Everywhere, but they do really funny public experiments. I think that's the perfect way to do a prank on YouTube of... you just end up confusing a bunch of people, and you can still get a very sensational title and thumbnail and still get a lot of views and still have something really interesting, but you're not being really mean to people. And one genre I was thinking about that really bothers me is, I'm just gonna call it the break and replace genre. Like, you know, cutting people's headphone wires and then giving them AirPods, or like smashing people's phone and then giving them a new iPhone. I think these just generally aren't okay. And here's why. So especially because it's its own little subgenre of smashing people's phone and then replacing it. I have a very cheap phone, but the data on my phone is very valuable. Now, if it were an accident, that'd be a completely different thing. But if someone just like took my phone and like threw it into a pool and then was like, but it's cool because I got you a new iPhone, I'd be really mad and I'd probably try and like take them to court or something. I have all of my editing project files on my phone. Most of my videos, it's really only hanging out there for like a week, and then I end up finishing it and I upload it, and it's on YouTube's database if at least the final product doesn't get completely destroyed. But I would be so mad if someone smashed my phone and then it's like, oh, it's cool because I got you a new iPhone. I wouldn't want that. I would be very angry. So I think the people who do get upset, and I think most of those are staged, because I think I'm not the only person who would be very upset regardless of if they replaced it or not. So I am glad that a lot of these pranks are staged, but I do think there's definitely issues, because I think pranks on YouTube tend to escalate in severity because someone needs their thumbnails and titles to remain very clickable, which is the problem, because like they continually escalate. So it goes from kind of like doing weird things in public and being like pranked to being really destructive and then being like, oh, it's fine though. It's like, no, data you can't just replace. And I'm sure people have talked about this before when it was more at the height of the style of pranks. But I was just thinking about that, of like, I didn't used to think about it as severely as I do, and then especially doing YouTube now, I have so much data on my phone that's very important. It's weird to think that this is an entire genre and it's like, oh, it's fine as long as you replace it with something equal or greater value. So that whole prank style, I really don't like it very much. Even in the like electronics where you're making a huge price difference but people might actually still be upset about it, there's one that was a really big when AirPods came out. And it's like cutting people's headphone wires and then giving them AirPods. Like, I like my wired headphones. Like, I'd still be kind of mad of like, you're taking something that I don't have to charge, I don't have to worry about falling out, and then replacing it for something that's higher maintenance. But I generally don't like pranks because there are so few. Like, I feel like the pranks I do like are more of the like public experiments, because like it's really hard to do pranks well because there aren't a whole lot that aren't destructive or dangerous and that are funny. Once again, like, you could make just as good of a video of just surprising people with like new iPhones or something. Like, you could make something just as clickable and just as watchable and just as entertaining with no negativity. So it's like, why you gotta do that? So just don't break people's stuff. Like, if you accidentally break someone's stuff, like, that it was an accident, but like, don't intentionally break people's stuff. That's all for this one. Bye!